Hey everyone, you know, or some of you may know, or if you're new, maybe you don't know. Hello, if you're new. But I like to do these videos where I share with you things that I've bought that have ended up being big disappointments, normally from the point of view of quality and usability. So you know, I've told you a million times, I take issue with the Bottega Jodie bag because it wasn't until I bought it, cut the tags off and started using it that I realised that it's impractical, because that zip is not easy to work with and the bag's quite small anyway. There's various reasons for it that I've spoken to you about. But in this, I'm going to share with you 6 of my most disappointing purchases of items that I bought and they were defective. And some of them I returned, others I didn't return because I didn't realise the defects before I could actually return things had expired. The first thing, you might be surprised, maybe if you own this you won't be surprised. It's the Hermes Click H bracelet. If I can personally, it's all just my opinion, but if I could say anything, I would say don't buy this if you're thinking of it. It's really expensive for what it is, but the problems are with it is scratches. If you, and I know some of you might say, well, it's metal, of course it's going to scratch. Guys, it scratches, okay? It scratched from the minute I took it out of the box. It scratched. And I also have the gold version, and the gold rubs off on the edges. I think if you're going to get it, if you really love it, I would say get it in the silver. And if you do that, it's still going to scratch. It's still going to scratch badly, but at least you're not going to have the colour rubbing off on the edge. Now, I don't actually use mine that much because I don't want to scratch it even more. And do you know, looking at it, it's really bad. I have not used this, you know. I haven't used this much at all. And I did have one of you a couple of weeks back saying, should I get it? In my opinion, no. There are better things that you can spend your money on. Although I understand why these are popular. If you're into Hermes and you're trying to work your way up, maybe to get one of the kind of the hero bags, or you just like it, but it scratches badly. It scratches more than I think it actually should. I think the metal is too soft on it and it looks tatty very quickly. The second are these scarves that you can get from Louis Vuitton. These ones. I have got one of these and it's in terrible condition and it hasn't been worn that much, because exactly like with that Click H bracelet, I purchased this and then when I started to see what was happening to it, I stopped wearing it. And here's the problem. It pulls so badly. Whether it's your nails or whether it's your rings, or whether it's something else, it pulls really badly. But not only that, the fabric actually balls up on this side. It's kind of starting to bobble and fray, and when you see it, I think you're going to be able to see that there are pulls through it as well, where just random threads have caught on things. The other thing I've noticed is that around the edge, where you've got this frayed edge, some of these are starting to come away and stretch out longer. It's a bad quality item. Is it bad quality, or is it just the way that it's put together? It's a very fragile item, let's put it that way. And I would say that if you're thinking about buying this, you want to be able to buy something. With all of these things, they're so expensive, and you want to be able to buy something at the end of it all that you can wear and enjoy and not worry about too much. That's the worst thing, is when you buy yourself something and it's in a pale colour and you're worried about dye transfer, or it's like that bracelet from Hermes and it's scratching all the time. That's how I am with this scarf. I don't wear it because I know that every time I do, it just gets damaged. Now, you might be saying, well, is that a quality thing? Or is it just because of the way this scarf is? Well, let me compare it to something. I'm going to compare it to this. This is from Christian Dior. And check it out, it's the same type of material. I don't know if that's showing, but it's got the oblique pattern. This hasn't done it, and it's basically the same. There are no pulls. I actually wear this a lot. There are no pulls in this. There are no threads hanging out. The fraying along the edge has not come undone at any point. And this I wear frequently. This I haven't worn probably in like 5 years. And as you can see, the condition of this is not good. So I would, personally for me, this is a no-go. I would say don't buy this, even though it's beautiful. I think you will end up being frustrated with it, and it's a lot of money to spend on something that honestly gets damaged so quickly. The next few items I don't have, because thank God I returned them when I noticed the issues. And the first is this wristlet from Chanel. Don't know how many of you remember this, but I bought this over the phone in 2021 because it was locked down at the time. This was part of a spring summer collection that had come out, and I really like it. Tell you why, because don't know about you, but whenever I leave the house, I'm always losing my car keys and having like a mini panic attack whenever I check for them in my bag. And so for me, I thought, I'm going to use this on my wrist. I'm going to stick my keys in this, and then whenever I'm out and about, I'll just wear it there. And instead of rummaging in my bag, I can just be like, great, I've still got them. Have a look at the condition of this wristlet. When it turned up, and I'm going to talk about something else as well that turned up at the same time. Both are from Chanel. I was massively disappointed at this is without doubt defective. In my opinion, I don't think this should have been on sale. When I unboxed it, it's so bad. Like, it's not me being a bit picky. It's so bad for that. And I know it's tiny, but if you can't sew a zip on straight, then I don't think you should be selling the item in question. So for me personally, that's another bad one. That's a really disappointing purchase. I question whether it was just a one-off defective one or whether they were all a bit dodgy, but for me, that was a bad one. Oh, another one. This is another one that I showed you. When did I show you this? I think I showed you this last week. I bought a Lovan handbag. You know, the new one out that's got the panther top handle. I have seen this bag on social media. Love it. I particularly like the cat on the top of the handle, like the brass cat. I liked having seen it with people wearing it on their shoulder, where you see the cat over the top of the shoulder. Loved everything about it, liked that shape of bag, etc. Ordered it, and I was mind blown at how defective that bag was. Take a look at these pictures. What you will notice is this I don't even think you can call it damage, because damage is when something's been broken as a result of something, whether it's that you've done something with the bag or it's turned up and it's been beaten up in transit. This wasn't damage, this was defective. And if you have a look at why this item is all creased, I don't know if you can see, but you can see the outline shape of a pocket that's actually on the inside of the bag. And what I discovered is the leather on this bag is so soft and malleable and gentle and delicate that where they'd stitched the pocket on the reverse, the inside of the bag, you could see it on the outside. You could see the outline shape of it on the outside of the bag. And I did send it back. They didn't ask any questions, which was good. You know, sometimes when you return things, it's like, you did this, but you know, I think they could see that no one could have done that. It was just as it was. I did have a lot of you tell me though that you're into that bag and you've seen reviews of it on YouTube, and that problem hasn't been a problem. And I question whether it was just mine. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm a magnet to defects. No, I'm joking. Maybe it was just a bag that was made badly and it came out looking like that. Maybe they're all like it. I really don't know. I can only go based on the one that I saw. But if you ask me, that's really bad, and I don't think that should go on sale. Item number 5 is the Chanel earrings. I say in general, because if you buy any items of costume jewellery that have got crystals or pearls and they're glued in from any brand, try and avoid it, because although they're beautiful and you might have your head turned, have a look at what's happened. And this it's not just one pair of earrings this has happened to. I've got a few pairs of Chanel earrings that have got pearls in them, and the pearls have dropped out. And you know, they might say to you, oh, it's because you've got perfume near it or something, or you've worn them in the shower. You may well have worn them in the shower or got perfume near them, but I think for most of us, we don't spray perfume on our ears and we don't wear them in the shower. So for that to happen is unlikely. It's my opinion that the reason why the pearls fall out is because they're not clasped in, they're glued in. And you know, you're handling those earrings to get them in and out. And so it's natural that over time, those pearls are gonna come loose. Now, these pieces are so expensive that I think if you are thinking about getting, let's talk about Chanel, if you're thinking about getting a pair of Chanel earrings, because they can look really chic and really nice if you're into logos, I wouldn't dissuade you from doing it, but I would say to get something that's like solid, either enamel or metal. And then finally, this is a big one for me. This one for me is as big as the wristlet that you saw earlier. So you know I'm mentioning about defects in this video, and for example, here's a really good example of, if you ask me, a bit of a defective wallet that I saw about a month ago now in Chanel. And as you can see, the flap's not straight on it. And when I saw it, I was actually quite surprised that it was on display, because it was not selling itself. Let's put it that way. If you looked at it, you wouldn't think, I want to buy that one. In my opinion, let me know what you think of it. So the straightness of flaps, etc. is a thing, and I don't know how many of you feel the same way, and please forgive me if you don't, it's just my opinion. But I love Chanel, but when it comes to their leather goods, I feel like I've seen more defects with their stuff than I have with any other brand. When it comes to like flaps not being straight, or that wallet as I was telling you about, or the wristlet, all this. This was, I don't know how many of you remember, but last summer there was this tiny, it was probably about this big, you know, this tiny vanity case with a tiny top handle, and it was on a chain and you could wear it around your neck or whatever you wanted to do with it. It was really, really cute. And I had to order it over the phone because of lockdown. And when it turned up, I unboxed it, and I was filming the unboxing at the time. And as I took it out of the packaging, I didn't really know what to say. Because normally when I'm unboxing something, like I like to keep things positive and be like, wow, isn't this cool? Like, have a look at it. But as I unboxed it, I realised that it was so bad that I couldn't possibly say to you all, wow, doesn't this look good? Because it was really obvious, it really obviously didn't look good. And I was actually more than surprised that it had been shipped out. Because to me, it didn't look like something that should even have been on sale in the first place. It looked like one of those sort of practice pieces that should have gone in the bin or something after. It didn't look like the kind of thing that you should be selling. And that's another thing that I found really disappointing, is that particular purchase I was also really excited about, and then I had to go and return it, which, that was a faff actually, to be honest, like having to book DHL and had to pay for it and stuff like that. It was a nightmare. Anyway, it was a very disappointing purchase, and as I've mentioned, I don't want this video to be like negative. It's just me sharing with you things that I've bought that have just not gone well. And if I can share these things with you and give you advice and be like, this is worth it, this isn't, then I am happy to be able to do that. And these are all just, in fact, these aren't just my opinions, they're my experiences. You may have different experiences, but I hope that what I've shown you has helped. The bottom line is, luxury doesn't mean quality. Paying a high price doesn't mean quality. You can still pay a high price and buy a luxury label and it actually be junk. It can be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.